Slowhands Rock Talk Show.
Looking to get a professional website built at an affordable cost? Then look no further. Nova Web Design offers you all the services required to put your business on the map. Whether it's website redesign, website development or website maintenance, it's all here and more. Click the link in the description for more info. Before the video starts, if you could do me a huge favour and make sure that you have subscribed to the channel. It's free, it only takes seconds to do, and it really does help the channel continue to grow. Now on to the video. Thank you so much for the whole band making time out of their day on a Friday afternoon. Absolutely shocked by that. It's really good to see you all. Before we get started, everyone doing okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Excellent. I've got lots of great questions for you, so I'm just going to ask the questions and we'll just fire out the questions, you give me the answers back. So for each of you, I know obviously you are Manchester based, but where are each of you from? Where were you brought up and what music were you influenced by growing up?
Am I starting? Yeah, I guess I'll start. Yeah, so I'm Naomi, I'm from Huddersfield. I've always been in Huddersfield, Yorkshire. So I first got into music as a kid because my dad's a sound engineer. Right. So I've always been around it. I'd say growing up, my influences were a lot more indie, so like Arctic Monkeys, that kind of thing. But now I've got a lot more into rock. So I love my Pink Floyd, like that's the classic. But it's a massive range of things now, but those are my original influences anyway.
Cool. Sounds good. Who's next?
I'll go next. I'm Jordan. I'm also from Huddersfield. Throughout my entire life I've lived in Huddersfield. I went to uni in Manchester for 4 years and recently come back. So my influences musically, I always listened to metal music in particular. Like before I even started playing guitar, I was really into metal. So that probably had quite a big impact on actually getting into music. And that was through my dad because he used to play guitar, so there was always guitars like around the house and stuff. Yeah. And like I used to hear him play some stuff, and that's kind of where my influence came from. And like my taste in music has sort of evolved over the years, and it's gone through loads of different stages, but it kind of always comes back around to metal being my thing. So that's me. That's cool. That's fine.
So I'm Mia, or Fia as my stage name is, and for me there was no history in my family of music. It was just like my grandparents used to listen to Guns N' Roses like all the time. I used to listen to it and be like, oh, like that's sick. I wanna try and learn that. So that's what inspired me to pick up a guitar. It was always guitar first, and I just really loved rock based on listening to Guns N' Roses. So that's the way I went, and then I learned bass. You know, like listening to Chili Peppers, that kind of thing. I'm quite inspired by like YouTubers, so.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to listen to a rock band, I suppose you might as well listen to one of the best.
Yeah, I love a bit of everything. So it's either like bass, it's like slap bass, funk stuff, but then heavy rock, it's like, there's no in between for me.
Cool. Who's next?
I'm Abby, so I'm the drummer, and I sort of grew up not really with that much like music in the family as well, but there used to be a lot of music played around us. So it used to be like absolutely anything from like ABBA to Empire of the Sun, Jake Bugg. My dad absolutely loves like Martin Garrix. It was a crazy range of music. So I think that's probably how I got into liking a lot of different music. Then when I was about 8, I had like a trial guitar lesson. And I was way too small to play the guitar. It just wasn't going to work. But as I left the like guitar tutoring room, I went past like where the drum lessons are held, and I was like, that looks cool. That looks fun. So then I came back like a couple of weeks after and had a trial lesson on drums, and then I was sold. And then like how long has it been now? 12 years later, still going. And
that's not bad.
Yeah, my music taste is like just as wide as it always has been. I will literally listen to like 90% of music. So, yeah.
And last but not least,
so my name's Benny, and I'm from Leeds. Always been from Leeds. And yeah, so my sort of earliest influences from music, like, you know, Naomi and Abby, is from my dad as well.
Yeah.
Because he's a sound engineer, but he's also a really good bass player, like one of the best. So like my sort of early music was from my dad's band. He was in a really good rock band that aren't around anymore. But I used to go to rehearsal and watch him and just be amazed by how good they were. And that was sort of like Pearl Jam, you know, like 90s rock sort of stuff, bit of Guns N' Roses. So that were like early influences. And then a bit later on, I'm more of an indie boy now, I think. But I do listen to 90% of music as well, like Abby.
I always think it's pretty cool because I think I'm probably older than all of you, but even like my parents' generation, they were born in the 50s, so they would have been brought up in the 60s, sort of hitting teenage years around the 70s. And there were so many great bands out at that time. And I kind of feel like maybe like any generations before myself, their parents probably, there wasn't a lot of great music out kind of before that. So it's quite cool that anybody whose parents were probably maybe sort of the 60s onwards were getting pretty cool sort of influences. You know, you jump in the car and your parents playing like an album or something that's really cool, and you don't realise at the time it's probably like a classic band now, you know, regarded as that. But it's nice that most musicians, most bands that I speak to, they do get their influences initially from their parents. Yeah, you know, there's always one parent who's listening to something that is really cool, and then obviously what happens is you go to high school, you know, you just kind of discover your own musical taste. But it's interesting what a lot of you were saying there. You've got these bands that you discover, that you love them, and then you might sort of go off in different directions and discover new music, but you do still kind of hold close to your heart those original bands. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's really cool, but I'll see if you are brave enough. So for each of you, what was the first professional concert that you ever attended? Who was the band or the artist, and do you remember where it was as well?
I think mine was The Killers.
Right, okay.
which is like, they were great. I've definitely grown out of that now. My second one was Imagine Dragons, which is just completely different to what I listen to now, but back in the day that was great. I think it was at the Manchester Arena, but we got VIP tickets and we were like sat at the side, and it's never the same when you're actually in like the pit. So it was a good experience, but it's definitely, I wouldn't see them again.
The first one that I remember going to was the Slaves, who are now Soft Play, I think it was in Leeds, but I'm not sure. It was either Leeds or Sheffield. It was one of the two. I went with my mate and his dad. I was about 12 or 13 at the time. And I think it was like just a really like lively gig to be at. And I think for your first one as well, it's a pretty good way to kick it off in terms of like hits going on and stuff. So I like that one.
Yeah, for me it was Green Day, which is again not sort of what I listen to now as much, but you know, it's a classic.
It's a good first gig though.
It was mental. I was expecting like, you know, I was just getting into them, and I was expecting like, you know, just a classic rock gig, but it was mental. There was someone got knocked out. The mosh pit was insane. Someone got dragged out. Yeah, it was me. Someone got dragged out. There was a big guy jumping on my foot in front of me. It was like, oh my god. But the atmosphere was mint. I'll never forget.
What tour would that have been?
Revolution Radio, I think, or you know, when they brought out the new album, I think it's Revolution Radio.
Right, okay.
I didn't really like that album as much. I'm more of like the old school Green Day and stuff, like Dookie and stuff. But which they actually didn't play that much from the new album, but it was like the new album tour. But they knew that everybody would want like the old school stuff. We went mad for it. It was amazing. Yeah.
Right. So mine. It's probably not as embarrassing as yours, Naomi. And I still absolutely love this band. I really do. But it was for 1975 in Manchester, at Manchester Arena. I was, again, probably like about 12 or 13, like you, Jordan. It was like one of the best gigs ever. and I've seen them like 3 times again since for like all their albums that they brought out. I still do love them. They have like a special place in my heart. But the second gig I ever went to was 21 Pilots at the same arena, and that was definitely one of the best gigs of my life. Like the staging that they do, like all the weird stuff that goes on, and like there's like lore behind all the stuff that they do. It's crazy.
They put a lot
to
of
follow.
effort into the live shows, don't
They had like a massive bridge going across the whole pit, which the singer just like stood on and walked across for the songs. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool. But yeah.
Cool. Go for it.
So
You look worried.
I've actually got a good one, so I shouldn't be worried. So the earliest proper gig I think I've been to was Metallica at Leeds Festival.
Right.
I must have been maybe 14 or 15 maybe, or maybe younger. But what I remember the bass player played a solo for about 10 minutes. You know, and I was just blown away by like, wow, you know, I've never really heard anyone do that.
Yeah. What year was that then?
I can't remember. I want to say maybe 2015 or 16, but I might just be making that up.
I feel really old now because my first gig was also Metallica, but I seen them 20 years before you. But
Did you play a 10-minute bass solo then as well?
What was that?
Did you play a bass solo as well then?
That was the concert they done where the stage fell apart halfway through the gig and they had roadies going on fire and everything. It was just mental. It was crazy. But it's cool though because I do say to people as well, like some of you like kind of laughing about the first gig that you went to, but I do think everybody should attend at least one live concert in their life because there is something really magical about the whole concert atmosphere. It's almost regardless of who it is you're actually going to see because everybody puts on a great concert, you know, but there's something really nice. You turn up to a concert, you could be having problems at home, you could be having trouble at work, but for the 2 hours that you're in that concert, you forget about everything and it doesn't matter, you know, you've got all this trouble in the world with people, you know, their religion, their skin colour, all this nonsense, and everybody's just on the same page just for the band. It's like a really magical atmosphere. And the cool thing is like I'm in my 40s now, I still feel the exact same way going to a concert now that I did when I was in my teenage years. You know, that feeling doesn't go away. And it's something that I think everybody should experience, you know, because it is a really cool thing. But for each of you, obviously you've got your own instruments you're playing. Some of you kind of said, you know, you had parents that were in bands and stuff. But for each of you, why did you end up picking the instrument that you end up playing? You know, whether it be guitar, vocals, drums. What landed you on that specific instrument?
So I kind of trialled a few things when I was younger, but I'd always I'm the singer, so I've always been singing.
Yeah.
But when I first started music lessons, I actually started off on drums. And I loved it for a long time. Like I got my grade 6. I played that for a good few years. And then at my music school, we did this thing called Rock Jam. So you were put together with a load of different people. You did this thing for 6 weeks and then you did a live performance at the end. So that was kind of my like first introduction to performing live. And I did it a few times. So I did drums for a bit and then I got into singing and I just fell in love with, you know, being a front woman basically.
It sounds like School of Rock.
Yeah, literally, basically. That was like one of my first favourite films as well, School of Rock. Yeah. But yeah, so I also did keyboard for a little bit, but I always went back to singing, and that's what I've stuck with since.
Yeah, it's interesting, like why you're drawn to that, because especially the vocals. You know, there's a lot of people. It's the one instrument they don't want to do. You know, because there's obviously a lot of it's, you know, you need to have an ability, but you also, you know, you need confidence. A lot of people don't have confidence to just sing.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, but it's cool that you were drawn to singing. What about the rest of you? Why that particular instrument that you ended up settling on?
For me, the reason that I picked guitar above anything else, so I think I think there's a couple of different reasons. I think one of the main ones probably is the fact that because my dad played guitar, they were always just around the house and stuff. He didn't really play that much, like when I was growing up, because he stopped playing sort of in his 30s. Really, he played more when he was in his 20s. But still, there were guitars around, and he still did play a bit. So that was obviously a big contributing sort of influence. But another thing as well was when I was in high school, I was picking like what I wanted to do for GCSE, and I didn't know what subject to pick. And two of my best mates were picking music, and they were a drummer and a bass player. So I thought, do you know what? I'll pick music because then at least I can like be in their class and have a laugh and whatever. So then it was one of two things. It was either sing or play guitar. And I can't sing, so that got pretty quickly eliminated. so I was like, guitar it is then. And then I started playing, and quite quickly I was like, do you know what? I'm actually all right at this. I quite enjoy it. So since then, I've not looked back.
Do you not think there's a time as well where you don't remember? Oh, this is the point where I realised I could play. You just remember not being able to play, and then. Like years later,
exactly,
you can play. I don't remember realising, I think I might be able to play.
I don't remember learning.
I just remember being able to shred suddenly.
Yeah, exactly,
It's funny, I've got a friend who just got his first guitar for Christmas there. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets to that point or if he gives up before then.
Well, starting out is always the hardest bit because it's a lot of people get frustrated with the sort of like, they want to be able to do it straight away. I mean, the cool thing in the day and age that we're in just now, though, if you're wanting to learn an instrument, you go onto YouTube, you've got a million people giving you a million lessons on how to play your favourite song. Yeah.
You know, back when I was picked up the guitar, the internet didn't exist. You know, so it was like learning by ear or trying to find a music video that you could maybe see what they were actually playing and stuff. So if it's something that you really want to do, there's really no excuses nowadays to not do it because everyone's got access to free lessons, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. For me, I sort of had a hard time picking between drums, guitar and bass. I started out on bass, then I went to guitar, and for quite a few years, for like at least 5 years or something, guitar was always my main. But then I sort of realised, I started doing bass videos online, and the bass videos were the ones that everybody, you know, people were noticing, people were loving it, people were like, oh, I didn't realise how amazing bass was. And if you think of a song without bass, you haven't really got a song. Like as much as it can be quieter, you know,
it adds so much to it.
It really does, And just when I figured how to do slap bass, like I discovered that and funk and stuff. You know, like Level 42, Mark King, I saw what he was doing, I just sort of like, it won my heart over guitar. As much as I love all three, it's just... I'm a guitarist that thinks he can play bass until I actually sit with a bass player, and then I realise I'm a guitarist that thinks he can play bass. It's the same with me and bass, guitar, sorry, I'm like, oh yeah, I can play guitar too, and then I like sit with Jordan and your knowledge is just crazy. I'm like, I'll stick to it. I'm better off with bass.
What about the drums then?
So, for me, I think I kind of subconsciously always grew up like knowing rhythm or like being around rhythm, and then I decided to try guitar and it just didn't really work, so I think that's probably why when I picked drums I was like absolutely amazed by it, because like growing up I don't really remember it as such, but my mum would always like sit me in the kitchen, this was like as I was a kid, and she'd got, like pots and pans and little wooden spoons, and I'd just like bash away, and it made an absolute racket, and I can't understand why she ever let me do that. But it helped, clearly.
Paid off.
And I also remember I was only like 2 or 3 years old. This is like a proper core memory. But my mum always used to drop my sister off at school, who's a couple of years older than me. And my granddad used to come with us as well, because he'd come shopping with us after to do like our weekly shop. So he'd always sit in the front and I'd sit in the back seat, and my mum and my sister would walk up to the school grounds, and my granddad would always turn around and he'd like tap songs on my knee to keep me like occupied. It'd be like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or like Postman Pat and stuff. But I always used to tap along with him, and we'd have a little sing song and a little like drum together in the car. And I think that's probably how I got a bit of my rhythm. I'll always say that's how I got my rhythm, but I don't know if it's true. But
Sounds like you were just born with it.
yeah, maybe.
Born to be behind a kit.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. What about yourself?
Yeah, so there were always guitars around the house and basses and stuff. But when I started playing, it was like the sort of time of, Rob Chapman and Rabia Masad and all, all that. And that was like my life. I was obsessed with them, I loved them.
Yep.
So I was used to watch the videos, and I got a Chapman guitar. I used to watch all the guitar videos and stuff. And they were like, idols for me when I was first starting.
Well, I was going to ask as well, for each of you, when it comes to vocals, guitar, drums, if I was to ask you, who's your influences? Who do you look up to when it comes to singing, when it comes to playing guitar? Who is it for each of you?
Oh, that's a hard question. I think a lot of my influences are actually like male singers. As a kid, like I was introduced to like Chris Cornell, so Audioslave, Soundgarden, and I've always been drawn to like listening to more male vocals. But it's so hard to pick because I feel like there's so many that shaped me. But if I had to choose like a female singer, it'd probably have to be like Blondie, to be honest.
Right, okay.
Like that's a classic one, but recently I've been into more of my alternative rock and like Cassia, like that kind of stuff. So it's a mix, really.
What about the rest of you?
I think for me, one that does particularly stick out, Benny's just reminded me by saying then, is Rabia Masad, and the way that he writes his lead lines and stuff. It's a very sort of definitive sound. You immediately know it's him when he's playing.
Yeah.
Just the sort of like the way that he writes in the genre that it is incredible, and I like to try and base a lot of my writing off the way that he writes things. And then aside from that, I think a big one for me is probably James Hetfield from Metallica. Just the amount of unbelievable riffs that he's churned out over the years is absolutely insane. And it's like he's never failed to write a great riff. So like from a compositional perspective as well as a guitar perspective, he's definitely one that's in the forefront of my mind.
Apart from maybe St. Anger, we'll skip past that.
Yeah. Just forget about that. We'll stick to like Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets. And that'll be all right.
Hey guys, this is James from Black Spiders and Bright Black, and you are watching this Slowhands rock talk show, talking all things music.
Just a very quick message to say thank you for watching. It really is appreciated. If you could hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and remember to hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss any future episodes that come out. Now back to the video.
Yeah, for me, it's so. Wait, what was the question again?
Your influences.
Oh yeah, I thought we were on the.
Your influences.
Yeah, I was like, so I was thinking it was going to come back to me. It was just like going further away. So my influences are like, well, it depends on the instrument more than anything. But for bass, I'd say more in terms of Plastic Heart. Like alt rock, Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses. That's pretty like because I use a pick for. I've never used a pick before on bass really, but I've sort of found my own tone in Plastic Heart, and that's like the same kind of gritty bass tone. But then I'm also heavily inspired by like Julia Plays Groove. She's like one of the best bassists on YouTube. She's made like seeing the way she interprets songs and makes her own thing out of it sort of inspired me to like kind of go in that direction on social media.
There's musicians on YouTube. It's ridiculous how unbelievably talented these people are.
Yeah, you learn a lot from them and how to interpret into your own music.
Yeah. What about drums? Who's someone that influences you straight away that comes to mind?
I would say I'm more influenced by session drummers over like band drummers, just because I really like how session drummers are like so versatile. Like they can go and work with a band and just it's just like that. They don't have to
they just adapt to whatever.
Anything. Yeah, so probably I kind of have two in mind that like jump out at me at the same time. One of them's Gabby King, and the other one is Ash Sohn. They kind of have two very different styles of drumming. Ash Son likes to do more like experimental drum recording and drum production techniques, which he has his own studio. And it's like insane, like so jealous every time I look at it. And Gabby King has like gone all over the world, and she's only like pretty young, and she has so many opportunities as like a female drummer. And so I'd say they're my two inspirations, really.
You'll like Drumeo because it's so interesting watching drummers try to play songs I've never heard before. Maybe a different style from what they're used to and how they interpret it. It's actually really interesting to see.
Michael Jackson's drummer with the cymbals.
I have,
He followed me on TikTok and he like shared a video. I was like, oh my god, when you watch his videos, his cymbals are like, I don't know how he does that, and he actually like doesn't miss as well. Yeah, it's crackers.
Have you got any other influences, or did you sum it up perfectly before?
Rabea Masad is the man. But Mark Knopfler, actually. Mark Knopfler, he's up there as well, isn't he?
That's cool, man. But for the band Plastic Heart, how did the band start? When did it start? How did it come?
I think I'm the only one that can answer this question because these guys are like new. But so we started it off because I went to music college a few years ago. We created it in like 2021. It was me and a few mates from college. We just thought, it was my first time actually being in an originals band. Like before, I'd only been in covers. So I thought, why not do something original? Try some songwriting, get into it. So we started off more as like an indie rock band, but we've definitely developed the sound now. We're more like alternative rock, a bit grittier now, especially with Jordan's influences of metal. But so it just kind of went through college. We were gigging quite a bit. It was one of those where you had to drag all your mates along to the gigs because you didn't really have a fan base at the time, so you kind of like, I'll buy you a pint if you come. But we've like developed a lot from there. The old members, they left a few months ago, and I found these amazing people. So we're just developing from there.
Yeah. So if you think of the band as of today, what is the band's songwriting process? Is there someone that does writes the main songs? Does everyone contribute? Does it start with a guitar riff? Like, does the band have a songwriting process?
I think we're definitely getting into a sort of flow with it now, aren't we? Like, it's usually you that starts with the riffs. I'll let you kind of explain that.
How it generally works at the moment, or how we've had it for the last few sort of songs, is that I've sort of got a catalogue of songs and riffs that I've just written over a few years that sort of sat in my laptop waiting to be used. And then every time I write something new as well, I sort of record it in, and then it's sat there waiting, and there's just a whole list to get through. But basically how it will start is I'll try and come up with like the foundation for a song, so like structurally how I want it to work in terms of like verses, choruses, pre-choruses, whatever, that kind of thing. And then once I find something that I think will work, generally I'll just like shoot it off into the chat and just get a general vibe of what people are thinking of it. And then Naomi will get on with getting started with some lyrics and stuff, and then we'll sit down and try and adapt it from there. And usually by the time Naomi's come up with like some lyrics and melody and stuff, it'll change a lot in there, because we've got to sort of build it around that sort of style.
So it's like yourself coming up with maybe like the skeleton of a song, presented to the band, everyone contributes to make the song.
Set the base, and you two, like the main foundation.
And then we bring it into like rehearsals and stuff, and then work on it more as a whole. And even then, it still can change massively from when I first send it in to when it's the finished product. It can be a totally different song by the end.
Are the vocals completely? Are the lyrics completely yourself, Naomi?
Pretty much, I'd say like 80-90%. But then again, like I'm still learning how to songwrite. I think I'm quite hard on myself when it comes to it. Like I think I overthink it a lot. So I'm always coming to these guys and saying, "Oh, is it all right?" Like, do you guys?
Are you open to suggestions and that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, I'm still learning. So.
See your lyrics. See if I was to take the lyrics aside from the music and just read the lyrics. Are they self-explanatory? Do I know exactly what you're talking about, or do you like to be a little bit more mysterious? You know, like if 10 people listen to it, 10 people will take 10 different things away.
I think it's a mix. Some songs we have are quite, straightforward. You can understand what I'm saying. But I do also like to throw some metaphors in there and actually write stories rather than just, here it is. You can obviously tell I'm talking about.
Especially this most recent one.
There's
lots of... Well, there's another one in the works as well that's very open for interpretation lyrically at the moment.
It's funny, the lyrics are an interesting one because
I don't know.
You can write the lyrics and they're specifically about something.
Yeah.
But over time, the same lyrics, the meaning of the lyrics can change as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I always remember Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam done an interview and he was talking about the song Alive, and he said it was almost viewed as a burden because the song started off with something that was really not nice, and he viewed it as a burden, and now over 20, 30 years later he sings the exact same lyrics, but it's almost like a celebration now.
Yeah, but I think that's lovely though, that you can change things like throughout time, because your life experiences change as well, and I feel like a lot of the time when you write music, it is to do with your own experiences, but as you go through life, things can change.
It has to be. A little part of it has to be.
Yeah, it's interesting, like Noel Gallagher as well, Oasis, he'd said that there's a lot of his songs, someone will ask, what does the song mean? And he doesn't know what it means.
Yeah.
But he said, I don't need to know what it means, because when I play that song and 50,000 people sing it back to me, it means something to every one of those 50,000 people. He says, it's almost like it doesn't belong to him anymore. He says, I just write the song and put it out there, and everybody else, it belongs to them, and they take from it what they want.
Mm-hmm.
But with regard to the band, I know you've done a couple of singles. How does the band like to record? Do you have a recording process? Do you record like the rhythm section live? Do you do the drums first and layer things on top? Is there a process for the band recording?
So the last two singles that are out, well, the old lineup. So we're just about to release two new singles as
the new plastic
as us, yeah.
Because really, that's just like Naomi and the old lineup, and
they are good tunes, aren't they? They're good. Yeah, they're really well produced.
So with these new songs, though, how did the band record them? Do you do the drums first and layer everything on top? Do you record the rhythm section live? How does the band like to work?
So we recorded these two new ones at my place. I have a bit of a home studio.
Yep.
And how we started it off we actually did the demo live to a click, all of us.
Right, okay.
And then we slowly replaced each part. So we started with the drums and then the bass. And so the live recording was the ghost track, essentially. Because these songs that we're doing now are quite... I wanted to keep the sound quite live, but still produced.
Yeah.
So it's not perfectly to the beat, although Abby is a really good drummer. We didn't really sync anything. We just kept it quite, raw.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying. Like, with today's technology, you can make everything absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
But does it then lose something along the way if you do that?
Definitely.
Yeah, by the time you've finished quantizing stuff, it never really sounds as good as if you just left it and then played to them drums or
you don't
played
want it
to
to
that.
sound too different, like
No.
live.
Well, exactly, and you don't want it to sound like robotic, like, a computer's done it all. The whole point of playing live and stuff is to show, like, how you can play together,
Yeah.
It's,
But it is cool, though, that you're saying you've got a home setup. 30 years ago, you just didn't have that. You would have to have went to a recording studio to record.
Yeah.
It's great that you can actually, have a pretty professional setup at an affordable cost now.
Yeah.
It's another really cool benefit of the day and age that we live in. But obviously, we're very early for 2026. What is the plans for the band looking ahead for the next year?
I'd say a lot of festivals over summer, as many as we can get.
Yeah,
getting
100%. Lots of support gigs as well. Like, in the past we tried to do some headliner gigs, and it's just, I think the best way to build a fan base nowadays is just jumping on a load of supports.
Yeah.
Building your fan base throughout other people.
Getting out of Yorkshire.
Yes,
as lovely as it is. We want to go further.
I know, we're hoping, fingers crossed, we're hoping to do a bit of like a gig swap thing with this band from Denmark.
Right.
I've got family in Denmark as well, so we're hoping get a load of family over, play a gig in Denmark, build a fan base over there, and then they can come over here and do a gig in Yorkshire. So just definitely getting out of Yorkshire and hopefully the country as well. That would be great.
Just new fans, but it's still quite early days. As a new lineup, we've been doing this for like 4 months.
4 or 5 months,
Yeah, so
it's
we just want to get a new lineup as us. Get fans as this new lineup.
We've got new music and we've got gigs.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
the perfect 2 things for a band. But before we go, I like to ask some fun questions. So I'll ask the questions, each of you tell me what pops into your heads. So imagine you could go back in time, anywhere in the world, big gig, small gig. What is the one concert that you wish you could have attended?
Woodstock 99.
Yeah.
Definitely. The scenes, honestly.
Complete destruction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Live Aid '85.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a lot of people.
That's been the most popular answer on the channel so far.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it's
not surprised.
for a reason, isn't it? You know,
I have had Woodstock 99, I've had Isle of Wight Festival, Woodstock way back in the 60s, but I think Live Aid's probably the one gig. I think it'd be pretty cool if you were at the front, maybe not so much if you were stood at the back.
No, yeah, of course. I'm assuming that in this scenario I can choose where I am as well.
Of course.
Right, great, yeah.
Right at the front.
Right at the barriers, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
It'd be the same for me. It has to be
Right.
Live Aid '85 for Queen more than anything.
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury
Yeah.
live in that moment. Yeah.
I bet you've never had this one before. It is Wham's farewell concert in 1986.
I have not had that one yet.
A bit iconic. How could you not want to go see Wham's final concert?
I mean, I'd be
they are
there.
so good.
I'd be there.
They're just wonderful. I love them so much.
We'll agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Got to be Metallica Moscow. Whenever.
Yeah, that would have been cool as well. That's kind of similar to Live Aid, like it'd just been absolute madness.
I feel like I'd only want to be there for maybe 20 minutes and then straight back out.
I know. But there was, talking about Woodstock 99, if you ever look at Woodstock 94, Green Day played that, and I think Dookie had just came out, and you should go and watch it because there was a mud fight. During the concert. There was a big mudslide, and then the concert ends with them having a fight with the fans on stage with mud getting thrown. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. If, similar to that question, see if you could go into the recording studio and witness any song being recorded by a band, what's the one song you wish you could have seen the band record it?
Someone else is going to have to go first for this one.
I'll go first. I would like to. I mean, it's not particularly a specific song, but I think just literally any Michael Jackson song.
Yeah.
I just love to see like how he just operated in a studio setting and how he sort of like dictated it.
With like a backing choir.
Yeah, like I just would have loved to see that.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
So that would probably be my answer.
For me, it'd be Bohemian Rhapsody Queen, just seeing how so many different like genres of that song all in one, like the rock bit and the opera section, like just
Never done before.
Yeah, see all of that coming together, and I think they had a laugh making it, so it'd be amazing.
I think it'd be madness in the studio, like, what are we aiming towards here? That sounds weird.
Yeah, just seeing Freddie doing his thing in the studio would be crazy. Yeah.
I think mine's got to be probably like any Amy Winehouse song that was like produced by Mark Ronson.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, he's just iconic, and I would just love to just like be a fly on the wall watching how he works, and just be able to hear Amy Winehouse's vocals live. That'd just be like incredible.
Yeah.
I'd say anything Elvis, anytime. Or Money for Nothing, Dire Straits.
That's a great shout.
You guys have got
That has been a popular answer as well.
Right, I think for me it would probably have to be any of the Dark Side of the Moon. I think in particular, probably Great Gig in the Sky. That, especially live as well, but in the studio, yeah, that would be insane to watch.
or wish you were here when Sid Barrett showed up?
Yeah.
On for so long.
It's just all that album. It's just incredible. So it's hard to choose one, but
For you, obviously, you have got your instruments. Is there another instrument that you wish that you could play? Or play well?
Definitely piano. Sorry. No.
Yeah, no,
Is that what
I
you're going to say?
Yeah, I bought one but never learned it. I need to.
Keyboard,
Yeah.
definitely.
For me, I think I can play bass and drums to like an okay degree. Not as much anymore as I used to be able to, because I just don't really play them anymore. I just try sort of stick to guitar now. But I always wished I could sing. I'd love to be able to sing.
Yeah.
Still time.
there is still time.
People say to you, "Oh, I bet you can't sing." You're lying. It's like, no.
Go on,
I
sing
can't.
now. Sing.
Yeah, go on.
No.
Go on.
All right, fine, give me some audio.
If I can dream Elvis.
No, that you're all right.
Susan Boyle.
This is not what this was. Okay, this wasn't the question.
I think the band should just get another microphone, just place it in front of you at the next gig and just...
Yep.
Just see what happens.
I'm sure you'll sing.
Well, it's a risky idea, but you know.
Why not?
But yeah, I really would like to be able to sing. I think that'd be great.
I'd never shut up if I could sing.
No,
like
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never shut up singing like that. Do you want to go?
Yeah, I think for me, I'd love to learn like a brass instrument, just like kind of out there. Really cool.
Saxophone.
Yeah, saxophone.
Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah.
That'd be ace.
Yeah, I think the two most popular answers have been piano and saxophone.
Yeah.
It's just cool though, isn't it? Like
You can't be a sax.
whipping out a sax, like
Yeah.
Imagine like one of our new songs, getting a
Have some
sax
of that
solo in
in.
there. It
Why
wouldn't
not?
work at all,
One of us
but it'd
has
be
to.
really cool.
Don't know about that.
Make it work.
I don't think I've got the lung capacity for it, to be honest. But we'll see.
For each of you, last question. I know the answer could change daily, but for today, for each of you, who is your Mount Rushmore when it comes to bands? Who is the 4 bands or musicians that are your favourites for today?
Is that as a band or individually?
Individually, go for it.
Oh,
No, it's alright, you guys.
go on, Jordan.
All right. So for me, I'm gonna put Metallica in there.
Yep,
I'm gonna put Tool in there.
yep.
I'm gonna put Enter Shikari in there.
Okay.
And for my final band, I'm going to put a band called Black Dirty in there. They're an emo Midwestern sort of math rock band. They've got about 150 monthly listeners on Spotify. So I just kind of wanted to throw them in with the big boys, but they deserve a little shout out because they're so good.
Sounds good. I'm going to take them out after.
Right,
Right there.
I'll go second.
Come on.
For me, I definitely have to say Pink Floyd, as I've said about 3 times already today. South Arcade.
Yep.
Oh, it's hard. I said The Pretty Reckless, actually.
Right.
And last, Audio Slave.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
For me, probably, I feel like mine are all quite different, but Guns N' Roses, because that's where it all started, definitely.
Yep.
Jamiroquai, just for the funkiness of the bass. I know it's like different to rock, but yes.
I wish I said
Yep.
It's so hard. Probably Red Hot Chili Peppers. This
Right.
is such a hard question because there's so
It's so
many.
hard to pick, isn't it?
Because I love like ABBA, but then Avenged Sevenfold, and then probably 4th in terms of like inspiration at the minute. They're again like a little bit of a smaller band, but they're making quite a name for themselves. So like a punk band, Snakes. Like I don't know if it's punk rock. It's quite heavy, but it's different, and it's people are loving it at the minute, and I just love what they do. I used to be in a band with the drummer, and seeing what she's doing now with them, it's completely different, and it just suits the whole band so well. And I would love
Cool.
to see them live because it's such an atmosphere.
Excellent.
Right, okay. I think I've got to go back to the 1975 because they're always like just my favourite. I can't ever get rid of them.
That's fine. Don't need any explanation.
I feel like I do. And then probably Radiohead. I
Right.
know it's like
Big.
really nerdy and boring. Yeah, Radiohead, probably Wolf Alice. I'm really enjoying at the moment. And I'm also really enjoying Deftones at the moment as well.
Yeah.
So there's quite a mix in there.
Another good one.
Gotta go for the classics, and ABBA. It's got to be on there.
Yes,
Um,
every time. Their bass stuff.
Dire Straits.
Yep.
Bit indie, but Arctic Monkeys. You know.
Yeah.
The old Arctic Monkeys, though.
Old Arctic
No.
Monkeys.
Oh,
No,
new
it's
stuff as
definitely
well.
bass. It's a
The new
great
stuff.
album, guys.
I don't
I'm
know
not
if I can get
joking.
into it.
Definitely the new stuff.
No comment.
And Stay out of it. Who would the last be? Got
Last-
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Even though he's not a band, but you know.
No, that's cool. Thank you so much for coming on today, speaking to myself. For anyone that's following the band, obviously you're on all the normal social media. With regard to previous songs, obviously you can stream them, download them. You've got new songs coming out, so keep an eye out for them. For gigs, I always encourage people, get along to the gigs. If you've got merchandise, pick up a t-shirt, whatever it is there. But I do wish you the continued success. I look forward to seeing or hearing the new songs coming out. If you're ever up in Glasgow, give me a shout. I'll come along, cheer you on. And what's the plans for the rest of the day?
Some food, definitely.
can hear all our stomachs
rumbling.
That's what the noise is, so I'm only kidding. So that's good, but thank you so much for coming on. I wish you all the continued success, and I'm sure we'll probably cross paths at some point down the line as well.
Definitely. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
No bother. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. Thank you.